Gigantic.
April 7th, 2024, the day that will forever be known, when Cody Rhodes finished the story and won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 40. This is Gigantic Pop, and yet we're all wearing black for the occasion, like we're mourning the loss of Roman's championship reign.
I'm not. I loved that finish, loved everything about it. This was awesome. Way different than night one. Crowd was different. Everything was just so much better, especially the finish.
Especially the lighting tonight, Raj. How did that look at home watching the lighting?
The lighting looked amazing. They did it right. The lighting, the weather, apparently, they fixed the weather. So, yeah, everything just kind of worked tonight. And I thought it was one of the best nights of WrestleMania they've ever had.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Matt Morgan and Raj Giri, the three of us together again for WrestleMania Night 2 to talk about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. All in all, Matt, you think tonight's a significant step up from night one?
Definitely. Oh, yes. And the crowd participation is a big part of that because, you could say night one was slow. There's too many matches put together that slowed everything down. No, you come to a show like that, you're looking to have fun. At least I know I would be. Even if I didn't give a crap about the match, the worst case, I'd be sitting there going, let's go fill in the blank. Because I paid money for it, right? I want to be a part of it. So, like, night two, noticeably different crowd. Hot for a lot of the matches that they needed to be hot for, or they should have been hot for. Bayley's match was on fire. I got a little nervous toward the end that they were going to suck some of the energy out of Cody's match, but they didn't. They didn't at all. I loved it. I loved the whole night.
It was good. It was good. A lot to talk about tonight. A lot happened tonight. I felt like this was a very well-booked evening. The final match under Bloodline rules was, I think, everything people were expecting, with Cody Rhodes channeling the power of all the baby faces, underdogs in the WWE to defeat Roman Reigns. Raj, you've got a thought.
It was perfectly done, I thought, and we'll get more into it later. But I just thought they did the cameos, like it popped the crowd. You had Undertaker, I think, was in that Steve Austin role. Apparently, they couldn't get Austin. I felt bad for Seth. He kind of got bunked out, but we'll talk about that later. He did nothing, but outside of it, it was, you had these cameos. It was awesome. But it didn't factor into the finish, right? You still felt like Cody beat Roman clean. And that was the most important thing. So you start off Cody's reign on this high note. You had, all the guys in the ring. And it was kind of funny, like only seeing like 7 people at first in the ring because they have the night split and they don't have that many matches. So there's not that many baby faces on the card. But
it was a good
having Cena.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, having Cena, Triple H, CM Punk, all in that ring celebrating Cody. I mean, it felt like this is really the start of a new era and changing the guy at the top, even though Roman's done a phenomenal job, kind of cements that. So
this was exactly what they did with Bret Hart. This is exactly what they do anytime they had a babyface that they want to beat everybody over the head with, in a good way, not in a Super Cena or Roman babyface way. That marks, this is a new generation. This is our new flagship babyface. But the difference was the crowd's behind this one big time. They were behind Bret too back then, but they threw the bells and whistles at it, and it needed it because not because the match itself couldn't exist, but because they protected the match itself because Cody got hit by everybody's finisher in Bloodline. He got hit by Samoan Spike twice, along with Superman Punch at the same time. Or the spear rather. So they protected everything perfectly. And like you said, the cameos were perfect to be long, just enough. I did wear my Taker's pop. I was like, oh boy, they're not coming back down from that.
Right. That has to be the last.
But they did. They did. Right. They did come back up when they needed to for Cody's final third. Everybody knew he was going to win. But like when he's holding Roman there for that hesitation before he hit that third crossroads, crowd was going bonkers. And it was, again, predictable in a good way. Wrestling fans like predictability sometimes.
Sometimes it's the best move. And I just thought, with Taker and everything, it gave that gravitas, but again, without overshadowing Cody. It was very well done.
It says a lot about Cody too, because Undertaker, John Cena, and all them, Rock, Cody's still getting the big pop at the end.
And Michael Cole at the end, like at the very end.
Oh,
after,
he crushed that.
He was crying by the end. I mean, you could tell how much, he was really emotional. And he did a hell of a job the whole weekend.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't teary-eyed watching that. I was.
Yeah. No, it was really something. 1,200 people watching us live, by the way. If this is your first time here, welcome to Gigantic Pop. The three of us back together again, talking about professional wrestling. We're going to get into it all, but first, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. We've been increasing our YouTube subscriptions like crazy, but we want to make sure that you're along for the ride. We're going to be doing a lot more of these. There's going to be a lot happening in this new era, the Triple H era. And man, we got a lot to talk about, including some really interesting news about our Wednesday night plans. And additionally, all the super chats to this show, all the YouTube revenue we make quarter by quarter, we're donating them to charity. This quarter, Culture City, which is a nonprofit that builds sensory inclusive experiences for neurodivergent fans, they're going to be the recipient of the cut of what we receive of all advertising and super chat money this quarter. And Matt, you can talk a little bit about this charity. You've done some work with them before.
So if we have new viewers and never seen this before, my son Jackson's 10. He's nonverbal autistic. He's the reason I got involved in politics to begin with, right? Didn't think I saw enough services around my community. That was one of the first reasons why I wanted to step up. With that, you start to learn about a lot of different organizations out there that can help our kids and adults alike. And Culture City is one of the biggest in the country, if not the. What's cool about them is they came here to Orlando to create what's called sensory bags to the Central Florida Zoo. So if you have a kid like mine or an adult that goes to a large populated area like the zoo, for example, and it's very overstimulating for them, they have these noise canceling headphones that they give the kids now at the zoo for free, and fidget toys and things that will help decompress them and get them back down to where they can enjoy themselves at the zoo. You heard Glenn speak earlier that they also build rooms. They build sensory inclusive rooms. And if you guys remember back, AEW did a really solid job in partnering with this organization back when Brandy and Cody Rhodes were in AEW. How ironic is that? But they actually give you a tour of it. And they did it one for the Orlando Magic here in Orlando, where we've taken advantage of it with Jackson at an Orlando Magic game. Again, it's a soundproof room with things in there that's going to entertain your child or your young adult until they're again coming back down from being overly stimulated from the noise, maybe the lights, and being able to get centered again and then enjoy the game, God forbid, right? So they do so much all over across the country. With those two examples I gave you, they do it all across the country, sporting stadiums all over the place. Very, very proud to be able to say that our awesome Gigantic Pop podcast is going to be, and YouTube channel is going to be the ones that are going to be contributing to that for this quarter. So all your super chats, that's where it's going towards. So keep that in mind. And thank you for joining us. And please subscribe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And sorry, I was smiling. We got a couple hilarious super chats that are coming up.
Yeah, and we'll get to all of them. We'll get to all of them.
These guys are hilarious.
But a great pick on Culture City, Matt. I know it's so important.
Yeah. Raj don't think so. He's over there popping himself, listening to the chat room.
No, I just wanted to say that it's really important because we grew up in an era where neurodivergent kids that were different and that got overstimulated easily, what would happen? Their parents wouldn't take them out to events. They wouldn't take them to the zoo because they didn't know how to deal with. They weren't equipped with the tools and opportunities to make sure there was a good experience for everyone. So Culture City's really doing a good job of being able to give people all across the spectrum access to these experiences and feel more quote unquote normal, which I think is very important to their upbringing. So
yeah,
I think it's great. I think it's great. So okay, we got a lot of super chats, and just quickly, Ella Chica with $100 super chat, Matt, saying this is for you, Matt. Bless you, your wife, and your son. Everyone hit the like button. Thank you all for you guys do to entertain us.
Thank you. That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you all. That's so much. Really, really lovely. And we appreciate it. And Culture City will appreciate it greatly. Thank you much. Before we dive into this, because I think it's going to come up tonight, Raj, you want to talk about the AEW announcement that was conveniently timed
Jeez.
for last night after night one of WrestleMania?
Us too. We're a wrestling company too. Pay attention to us. Look at us over here. Look at us, please.
I've gotten some flack on the X platform for this, but yeah, Tony Khan apparently a little miffed with that CM Punk interview the other day, and he said he's going to release the backstage footage of Punk and Jungle Boy from All In last year.
Okay.
So CM Punk is going to be the focal point of Dynamite this Wednesday night.
Okay, so there's so much to that, but real quick, let's be fair. If that tape that they're gonna air, okay, it's probably I don't know what it's gonna show because I can just base it off of what my friends there told me, the few that saw it, okay, with Jungle Jack Perry. With that said, let's say it is the worst thing ever. Then what? Then what? You just put all this stuff on your airtime. You make Jungle Jack Perry look like a wimp for getting choked. There's nothing positive in this, except what? Punk was exaggerating or lying. Now, if I'm Tony, there's other things Punk lied about, I'd be pissed too, right? But at the same token, we never heard Punk's side ever. All we got was AEW's and Tony Khan the entire time. We never got Punk's side ever. So here's the one time Punk goes out there and says what he says, and they get pissed about it. So unless Punk's lying about some of this stuff, we'll see. But then again, will we see the part where Tony was scared for his life? That's the part I'm most interested in. Will we see that on film? Will we also see the all-out brawl-out? Will we see any of that? Because when Punk said he's not the one who asked anybody to sign an NDA, why did y'all?
And
apparently this footage, there's no there. From what I've heard, there's nothing of Punk approaching Tony Khan, scaring Tony Khan. So,
boo, boogity woogity boo. Did you do that to him? What did he do to scare him? I want to know.
I talked to some people in AEW earlier today, and they made it sound like this video will be good for Jack Perry. So we'll see.
Okay.
And if they use it as a return for Jack Perry, and if this makes him a bigger star, then fine, good for you. But it feels minor league to be doing this, and I got some flack by saying that on Twitter last night because people are like, oh, you hate AEW, and I'm like, no, man, WWE has done tons of minor league stuff. When they said they were bringing back Diesel and Razor Ramon, that was the most minor league thing I'd ever seen, by a major wrestling company. So,
can I ask a dumb question, Raj? Do you think this is big enough? Because the proof is, if it's important enough to play this or not, is based on, does a mainstream fan understand any of this stuff if they saw this air? Do you think?
I just feel like this is the kind of thing you leak, right? You leak it to ESPN, you leak it to TMZ, you send that footage. You don't put it on your own TV, you know?
It's a little weird.
When CM Punk did that, when WWE's doctor filed a lawsuit against CM Punk, I got a video from WWE, which was like 5 minutes of ass shots of CM Punk showing that he didn't have this bruise that he claimed that he had. And
they send that out to everybody.
Yeah, you leak that stuff. You don't. When you put it on your own TV, it just shows that you're rattled, like CM Punk's living rent free in your head, and it just shows you're responding to a podcast interview, and that just feels like underneath you, as a major league company, you should no sell that and leak that footage to elsewhere so it gets out. You get your side out, but you don't look low rent at the same time.
But I will say this: my rant I went on the other night about the Observer. What's the guy's name? Not Dave. Brian Alvarez. So if you remember my rant, folks, it was pretty epic. It wasn't just about the Jungle Jack Perry scenario. It was about how Tony has handled all of this. If you'll remember, the all-out stuff, saying he's scared for his life, all this other stuff. That again, in fact, I'm annoyed we're even talking about it. WrestleMania just had the best WrestleMania,
I know.
And they did their job because here we are talking about it. So this is what I think of all of it. Let's talk about WrestleMania, please.
I agree. But that being said, Matt, will you pop if somebody speeds up the footage and adds in the Benny Hill music under Tony Khan running for his life?
Yes, I will pop.
Okay, just making sure.
I just want to add one more thing. Unless if the video is Punk punking out Jack Perry, I don't see how that helps anyone, right?
No, because then he gets the one who gets punked out. But then in today's society, they don't like people that bully people either. So Punk's walking around like freaking the Incredible Hulk, like punching like walls on his way down the hallway, and then just grabs Jack Perry and yanks him in for a front face lock. Yeah, it's not going to make Punk look very good.
No, definitely not. But it doesn't make Jack Perry look good either.
For being snatched.
Yeah, I mean you're a pretend tough guy in pro wrestling, right? And you know, like to then have like if you had Roman Reigns being manhandled like that, it'd
kill his gimmick. It'd kill his gimmick. Like
Triple H would never release that video.
Seth got hurt for a little bit. Remember that fan came in and form tackled him on the ground? He lost a little bit of steam, if you guys remember. Not for too long, for like a couple months.
Right.
Well, guys, 2,000 people watching us live. An all-time gigantic pop record. Almost 700
record super chats already.
Yeah. It's too bad many of them missed our Dude Wipes conversation last night. So maybe we'll have more hygiene tips in hour two. Hour 2's for the hygiene tips. Okay, so let's talk though about this opening match. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins, WrestleMania Night 2. The weather was warmer. Thankful for that. But Drew and Seth had a pretty straightforward match. CM Punk was on commentary though. Matt, I mean, I think this match was masterful with its peaks and valleys and surprises. But do you think, what did you think of this overall to start with?
I thought it was masterfully booked, honestly. And I did not want him cashing it in. I don't want him beating Drew. But I watched it happen, and I got to give them credit on how they did it. The crowd popped, right? And as we saw last night, I thought the crowd was going to be pretty tough again tonight. But thank God we had a much better, in my opinion, audience. But you can't always base everything off that arena's reaction, because what about the millions of people watching all across the world, right? What was their reaction? So, okay, he has the briefcase. He had to cash it in. I just would have liked to see Drew get a little bit more time as champion. He's earned it. He's doing his best work right now. I loved that stuff. I got hook, line, and sinker at the end once Drew did win the title from Seth, and he's taunting Punk with it. I'm like, wow, he's really... If you look at Punk's face, he looks visibly uncomfortable. I'm like, they're letting him get away with this? Is Punk him like this? What the hell? And then sure enough, Punk gets up and sweeps his leg out, trips him on the table, and I guess his arm's okay, or somewhat better, because he was able to do, a couple things there.
That was amazing tonight. That was the biggest swerve of the night for me.
I did not see that coming, because Punk played this face. Go back and watch it. He was getting really irritated, but at the same time, like, can't believe I have to sit here as part of this job within the structure of WWE and be a good little boy. I promised him I wouldn't punch this guy in his mouth. Like that face. While Drew was giving him the business, waving the title in his face, right? It was really well done. I bought it. And then finally, when I came out to cash the briefcase, it just added to it. But I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with Senior Money in the Bank.
Senior World Heavyweight Champion.
Now Senior World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, you're right. Moving forward as a champion.
Brock,
I feel like he has 2 months to make it work, right? Because the logical conclusion is to have Drew win in Scotland, right? They're going to do Clash at the Castle in June 15th. So. And him winning it in Scotland, I mean, that's money. So, but if Damian Priest gets really hot, it's almost like when Edge did the Money in the Bank cash in. The plans weren't for him to have an extended run, and then he just got so hot. Him and Cena just clicked that it made Edge a superstar. So this is Damian Priest's chance to become. Yeah, exactly. He has a couple months, because I'm sure the plan right now is for Drew to win, and maybe he still should, and you could have Damian regain it if he gets hot, but. He's been given the ball. You got to run with it.
Overall, though, Glenn, to answer your question, they kicked this pay-per-view off perfectly. This was hot.
Amazing.
As hot can get.
I felt like this was the hottest start to a WrestleMania night ever. It
was really good.
I mean, you've had. I think Benoit, Kurt Angle, and Jericho was an opener as well. But this was for a world title. You had two world title changes to kick off the show.
Yeah.
I thought this was the hottest start ever.
It's great that Drew won clean tonight. The surprise was CM Punk, and he did hint on the MMA Hour interview that maybe that he was going to be back sooner than we thought. So he's not cleared. He can't take bumps. But the fact that when he pulled that brace off and was getting into it with Drew, that was beautiful. But what I love about this, I love that Drew took his brother's phone and tweeted during the match with the like board at work. That was great. But I love now that Drew has been this angry, bitter guy. And this is just going to feel, I think Drew McIntyre is about to become the Jan Brady of WWE, because he's going to have this middle child syndrome that now, he won the championship during the pandemic. He won tonight. He had the crowd thing and that was taken away from him. I think he's going to have an iceberg sized chip on his shoulder, and it's going to be lovely to watch how that plays out.
I agree.
You know? And for CM Punk, well, maybe they were doing this to get ahead of TK showing that footage Wednesday.
And Drew has just been on another level these last 4 months. I mean, if his social media skills are just beyond approach, he's just amazing. And I can't wait to see the Drew run when it happens. And hopefully that happens in Scotland. I don't think they have Drew win the title tonight, even for a few minutes, if he didn't resign. So I think he's resigned. Yes. He's with the company.
Yes.
Has to, right? There's been no official word.
Scotland.
Yeah. He'll be in the record books as the second world heavyweight champion. He'll always have that distinction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had that WrestleMania moment, winning the title at WrestleMania. Crowd popped huge.
He had literally the moment, Raj. It was a moment.
But that's still like getting that ovation in a crowd.
I didn't get it.
He never got.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. It's rare.
It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought this was a really hot match to open the show. And then I just want to take a minute and talk about the second match, because look, we talked about this last night. The Final Testament has not been off to a great start, but Matt, were you surprised how good this Philly street fight was between Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament?
Yes, because my expectations were underneath the basement level, coming into it, to be fair. But Bully was a part of it, but Bubba Ray, that was cool. And Snoop was hilarious in commentary. And Pat McAfee knew exactly what he was doing. He just kept throwing more gasoline on the fire. It's so funny. It was good. Much better than I expected. Much better. Even with the broken table, the messed up table spot there, it did not ruin it at all. Because again, Martez Ford is a freaking star. Didn't panic, went outside, went to get another ladder, but before he did, he gassed the crowd up to say, should I get another? Like, he's so smart. He is a main event freaking singles talent. I don't know when they're going to pull the trigger on him, but they need to now. He's so good.
Yeah.
This was great. And like you said, I thought Snoop was just great on commentary. Just everything he was saying. I love Michael Cole admitting that he smoked up with Snoop. It was hilarious. And I thought it was just fun. Like, and that's one thing I thought about the night in general. You smiled a lot. Like, it was just a fun night.
Yes.
And this was one of those matches where I wasn't expecting much going into it. This was kind of the match where I was planning to warm up my dinner and not watch it. And then Snoop comes out, Bubba Ray comes out, and I'm hooked. And the whole match was fun. Agreed, Matt, when they botched that table spot, they recovered perfectly. They didn't try to overcompensate. They just did it again. And it was great. Way better than I expected.
And just so you know, guys and girls that get put in that spot where something bad happens usually will show their ass. They'll usually show their inexperience in the panic moment. And that's how good, I'm telling you, Montez Ford has got it. Because now he just proved to me he can cover. If something bad happens at the biggest match, the biggest stage of them all, and doesn't sweat it one iota, doesn't sell it one up. You know what I mean? Calms everything down, slows it down, and it gets the crowd to interact with them instead of them going, you effed up, because they're in Philadelphia, which I surely thought I was going to hear.
Yeah.
He was able to control them. Go back and watch it again. It's such little subtleties he did when he slid outside the ring to get the second table. Yeah. He's good, dude. I don't know what they're waiting with him.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Better frog splash, Montez Ford or Logan Paul?
Logan Paul. Oh, don't make me answer that. Don't make me answer that. So
They're
tonight,
both great.
they both get higher than anyone else. I'm sorry, I love RVD's. That's his move. Eddie's, that was his move too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll argue both of these talents vertically jump higher on their frog splash.
That's what
Eddie's just looked like it hit. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I want them both in Money in the Bank, and I want them to go ladderless to just hop for that briefcase. That would be the moment, right? Although Ricochet's is pretty. I mean, look at that Ricochet Logan Paul moment in the Rumble. Like, yeah, man. I mean, those guys are like otherworldly with what they can do athletically. What were we gonna say, Rush?
I was just saying, Eddie does this thing when he actually lands. It just looks like it's extra force for some reason. Like, like when
he smacks them at hard. That's how he tore his tricep when he first got to WWE that night. Remember when he did the invasion with Radicals?
Right.
Or maybe it was the second night there. But anyways, he always, when he would hit it, would smack them at. It's perfect. It's picture perfect. But these two young guys, though, if you watch, they get up higher on the vertical leap part.
Agreed. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was awesome.
It was cool. We should also acknowledge that we had Stephanie McMahon open the show. And I'll tell you, they're really putting over this Paul Levesque guy tonight.
Paul Levesque.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
I like that. I like them cementing that it's a new era. Because I feel like they hadn't done that yet, right?
Yep.
And the stench of Vince has been around for a while. And this was a way to... It felt like a show that just got clean of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No mention of Vince. Stephanie basically almost announcing her dad, saying, this is the best WrestleMania because it's the start of the Paul Levesque era. They didn't do America the Beautiful either night. They did the national anthem the first night, and then they did God Bless America tonight. And that was a big Vince thing. Vince does not like the national anthem, and so he would always do America the Beautiful. Every WrestleMania was America the Beautiful, and this was the first one. No America the Beautiful, and it was just a signal of the changing of the guard.
We didn't get Solo Sikoa singing the national anthem, as was promised under Bloodline rules.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Let's hit some super chats, guys. 26 of them teed up. Okay. So first, J.R. Smith, too. Matt's like so just like charity. J.R. Smith, $2 saying still no glass break. A lot of people think that Stone Cold should have had that Undertaker spot.
That was clearly that spot. It was Taker or Austin. Yeah. I could say, you know what I love about Austin? He doesn't water down his appearances. If he just did every appearance like Ric Flair does, right? Like his appearances don't feel special at all. Austin's appearances feel special, and he doesn't take every single booking.
What the hell was he doing? What was he busy?
Drinking a beer, cleaning up brush on his ranch.
Riding ATV. Good on Undertaker. Great job. Happy to see you.
Did you see when Cody went to get the table the first time? You could see somebody under the ring scoop back. I wonder if that was Taker hiding out.
No.
Yeah, you saw like hands.
Thank God you didn't text it to me and ruin it for me.
The thought of Taker and Rock just bolting it to the back after that spot, when the lights went out, is just hilarious to me.
Yeah. Ozman 499 saying still have goosebumps from the main event.
Yeah.
So fun.
It was cool.
It was meant to, and it was fun.
Yes.
And Liam Moore's €1.99 super chat just to pop Matt Morgan. Great show.
I love that people send super chats just to piss you off, man.
Yes. Please, for the sake of charity, let's antagonize Matt with your super chats. This is like the modern dunk tank, Matt. You should set that up in Longwood and be like, throw a baseball, dunk the mayor.
You think I haven't done that? I've done that.
And Jorge, $2 saying, someone check on Issa. I texted Issa and I was like, don't get thrown out of the press conference tonight.
Issa.
Oh, she's doing okay. Let's do one.
Did you? But real quick, because you brought her up. Did you hear her question? Hey, my tribal chief, you're the greatest creation of all time. Can you please? Oh my goodness, she went overboard.
It
she went overboard. But it was part of the segment, and it worked because Roman and Paul Heyman were healing on every single other person in that room. But because Issa went overboard, I did my tribal chief. I fully acknowledge you before asking a question. I did pop.
You know what? Because she knows what it is.
Yes.
It's always weird with
Yes.
these wrestling press conferences because it's like, are we working? Are we shooting? Do I ask real
Yes.
questions? Do I ask, oh, was that a tough match? It's like, you know, like,
yeah.
No, like, it's always weird. And when I was on those TNA phone calls, because I would ask like legit questions, and then I'd get a call from, you know, their head of PR afterwards being like, hey, man, that hasn't aired yet. You can't be saying that.
Yeah,
It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Anyway.
Stella Justin Lopez. $9.99. Yo soy
There you go.
Boricua. I'm a very proud Puerto Rican, seeing Damian Priest become only the second Puerto Rican world champion in WWE history. I do see Drew getting back soon enough, though, and Priest being transitional. I mean, hey, we'll see what happens.
Who was the first Puerto Rico? Oh, Dave? Was Dave Batista? No.
No, Pedro Morales, right?
I wouldn't. I'm not positive about that. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Pedro Morales.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Pedro Morales as well, according to a quick Google.
Okay.
Keep the super chats coming, everyone. All proceeds received by us go to Culture City. We appreciate you.
And we will get to all of them. So
yes, Robot Reacts $10 saying Drew lost because he couldn't let go of his hate for Punk and decided to gloat. Roman lost because he couldn't let go of his hatred for Seth. Consequences of long-term storytelling.
Ooh.
#new era.
Good catch with the Seth part. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts and
questions
we'll get to about the main event. We're gonna get to that. Okay, so let's get through the rest of these matches.
Yeah.
AJ Styles with a new lesser theme versus LA Knight tonight.
Didn't like that.
So AJ doesn't have. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it out there. AJ does not have good taste in his own entrance music because in an interview the other night he asked during an interview the other night about his old TNA theme. He's like, "Oh, I hated it," and the guy's like, "What? That's like your best theme song ever." And AJ thinks whenever his character changes, his music should change to fit it, I guess. So I guess that's why he did what he did with the music. But yeah, it wasn't good.
Yeah, and I like it. Like you see, like Jericho, whenever he turns heel and back babyface or whatever, he changes his hair, he changes his music, his presentation. So I like that you're doing that. But man, this theme, I don't know. Maybe I'll just get used to it after a while. But his old theme is one of the best themes in WWE. So.
Yeah, a lot of them they're messing with them and not. I mean, there was a Steph remix tonight of her theme. Like they're updating everything, and some of it's better, some of it for the worse. Still love LA Knight and those Slim Jim commercials.
You know, hopefully this is upwards and onwards for LA Knight because he has taken a bit of a back seat since the Royal Rumble. But man, last year he was robbed of a WrestleMania appearance, right? Like he wasn't even on the show.
But he made them pay for that tonight. The crowd was very into him.
Mm-hmm. And it was a good match. He came across as a big star, and again, hopefully they utilize this and take him to the next level. I don't think he should be in the world title picture again yet, but hopefully they do something.
Yeah. Fun match though. The woman who won the Slim Jim car seemed confused about what was going on.
The
cool car though.
Her husband was trying to, like, you know, you could tell, like, prop her up and like like you're supposed to smile, you know. But
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you hear about people that win like cars and stuff, like Oprah when she did the you get a car.
Yeah.
And all these people are like, oh, you know, we got to pay taxes on this car.
Yeah.
And they're not, but, you know, sell it.
They end up usually selling it to pay the tax bill and then keep the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. 2,400 people watching live, by the way. Thank you
guys.
Everyone. Very just incredible. Love it. So I think this was good for LA Knight. He got the win. AJ can take the loss. They'll put him in something interesting from here, I'm sure. Or maybe he'll take a little time off.
AJ's Teflon. Like he can take any loss now, and you put him in the right storyline, he's back in the world title picture. You know,
yeah,
like he's earned that.
He's always one match. Is an old saying. The guy's only one match away, or one win away from being a qualifier to face for a world title if they ever need to pull that trigger. That's how good he is, or believable.
Yeah, in that Orton territory, like Jericho was there, same thing. Yeah. You could bring him in anytime you need to.
Yep.
Well, we went from this match right into the United States title triple threat, which was Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. And Kevin giving Randy a ride on his golf cart. That was kind of him.
It was funny.
And Randy's like, slow the fuck down, because Kevin Owens hit that gas like really hard. It was funny. Like you see Orton, like it was legit. He wasn't. It wasn't like part of the script.
No, those are little things that separate Kevin, though. Kevin might not be a body guy, but he has tons of charisma. He knows how to get it out there to the viewers at home watching it. His character.
I thought he was going to win after he had that moment with Sammy before. I was like, oh, this would be really nice. They both win the WrestleMania titles. Although Kevin's had some pretty big WrestleMania wins before, though.
I wasn't buying it. No way.
Yeah. So how do you think, did you know who the guy was in the Prime?
Oh, yes, because I'm a loser. Yes, because I'm a complete freaking tool loser. I actually knew who that kid was. Not know him, but as soon as they said his name, I was like, oh, that's the freaking YouTuber dude.
Okay. No, I had no idea.
He's a streamer. Fast. What the hell was his name? He's a kid. He's a kid that makes these weird noises like he did tonight. He started barking randomly. But he's super. Speed. Yeah, there you go. Speed. So he's super over though. He's got this huge following. I don't know why he does. I just know he does.
It's funny when people talk about ratings and stuff nowadays. It's like everything is so fragmented that there is people under 15, they know who that guy is. Like he's a big star to them.
Yes.
People over 30 have no idea who this guy is. It's like Mr. Beast, right? Like everyone under 18 knows who Mr. Beast is. Over 50, no one knows who he is. And he's gigantic.
I subscribe to Mr. Beast.
He's awesome. I'm a big fan. But I had no idea who he was till my daughters told me about him.
Yeah.
Good match, though. I mean, Logan retaining was not what I was expecting.
Even there's a couple of his not botches. He had a couple of mishaps trying to do the slingshot, the buckshot, when he slingshots himself over and hits a clothesline. He first screwed up a little bit on the double clothesline to them. Then he did it again on the single clothesline later on. But that's not his fault, though. It's just not his knee. His knee went out on him, right? That shit happens. But I mean, super nitpicky because again, this dude has picked his business up quicker. I like Michael Cole's commentary acknowledging that too. Picking this up quicker than anybody's ever seen. That's some real good company, including Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar. That he's picked his business up quicker than technically. So great showing for him. He should have walked out with the title. The other two don't need that title.
Yeah. And again, it was fun. It was a fun match. I didn't know who the guy was. I thought it was going to be KSI in that Prime box.
My favorite part was what's his name? Michael Cole completely. He thought it was. Didn't you hear him? He's like, "Oh, surprise!" Like that's not KSI Cole. That's.
And he had no idea who it was after Pat McAfee told him. Yeah. I love the Michael Cole Pat McAfee duo. By the way, like it's the best. Relaxed, fun, interesting. You're not getting the seriousness, but it's just. I thought they did a killer job this weekend.
Yes.
But I would have loved if it was Mike Tyson under there. Like someone brought it up on Twitter, like because Mike Tyson's fighting Jake Paul here in a couple months.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
You know, if they did something in there because it's Netflix, right? They're airing that fight on Netflix.
They are.
Netflix paid some money to do something between them. I could see it being a little hokey, but yeah.
At least it wasn't Shane McMahon.
Right.
So we got that.
He didn't tear his quad this year.
Oh yeah.
I thought him, Snoop and The Miz might have ran it back for a rematch. But okay. So we got some super chats. Harris Gala, Samantha Irving is amazing. She screams from the soul. Io Sky, what a performance. MVP all the way. That match was bonkers. Sad Roman lost. I'm not sure how they go forward now without Roman and Rock. I mean, it is truly a new era. That's the biggest question, right? We just had two, with The Rock, just one of the biggest superstars in the world on the show as a weekly fixture for the last 10 weeks. It's going to be a change. The question is now, will this validate the hardcore fans with Cody as champion? So I think it's going to be interesting. What amazes me is to think tonight, in an alternate universe tonight, Roman Reigns beat The Rock at WrestleMania. That was
Right.
the original plan. And we're
Right.
going to see that behind the curtain documentary on Wednesday. So yeah, I think Wednesday night we probably will end up doing a gigantic pop to talk about the AEW footage
Oh, we
of
have to.
CM Punk. And we'll talk about that. We need to watch that documentary Wednesday, guys, because
I
that's
am.
going to tell the story about everything that happened with the change. 2,500 people watching us live, by the way.
I'm going to be watching
Absolutely
it.
amazing.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, let's definitely do it. Do you guys want to do one tomorrow night too? It is.
I really like to, you know.
Dependent. Let's
Yeah,
we'll
let's
keep
see
it
what happens.
dependent.
Let's see
All
what
right.
happens.
So
I think
tomorrow
CM
night's
Punk and Drew, that's the story tomorrow
TBD,
night.
but definitely Wednesday night.
Yeah. In the meet, saying, hey guys, effing awesome main event. Was expecting Austin music, but got goosebumps for Cena, the nostalgic for Taker. Samantha crying, emotional.
Yes.
Michael Cole, goats in the ring, professional wrestling at its best.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. Well put. Very well put. I felt the same thing. Samantha Urban, you got very emotional, choked up when she's trying to announce the winner. That said it all. I thought that was awesome that she got choked up doing it. She gets so into it, dude. How do you not root for her, not think she's awesome?
I'm going to make a bold claim. Best ring announcer since Howard Finkel.
I definitely will agree with that. 100% agree with that. Yes. I know some people are getting, like, they don't like my wife. My wife's like, oh, why is she so aggressive with her? No, I'm like, what? That's the coolest part of it. What do you mean? She makes every person, she makes every person feel like a much bigger star.
Yeah. And I always liked back in the day when Mean Gene and Howard Finkel, where they had personalities as opposed to being these vanilla, bland, you could easily mix and match them and no one cares. Now you got, people in those roles that actually have personality that stand out. And Samantha Irving is amazing.
I love the roar that she puts into everybody's name. It makes them feel like a bigger star.
Yeah.
And a bigger match.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I just had to tweet it because I haven't heard anybody say it yet. That here's my hot take. What's that? What do you got?
I just got to put this. It's not a super chat, but Greg Hughes, Finkel's and the new is untouchable, and it is.
Yes.
Anytime Finkel would say that, man, goosebumps.
Yes.
I just had to tweet it because my hot take I've decided is to say that tonight's main event was a love letter to professional wrestling.
You had to tweet that, huh?
Sorry, it's the most platitude thing you could say, and I was like, I haven't read that yet. Why has nobody used that hokey ass platitude that everybody says when they think something is really good?
WrestleMania ending with Michael Cole yelling, "I love professional wrestling" is something that would never happen under Vince,
oh yeah,
right?
No way, no way.
No, again, a new era, and you know what? Last year, night one was way better than night two. This is way better, right? To do night two better than night one.
Yes.
And
Euro Nation, $20 Canadian. That's like 15 US. Saying the Undertaker and Cena stuff didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to the story for them to come out and be on Cody's side for no reason. Seemed like it was just wedged in for nostalgia purposes. What do you guys think?
Can I explain it real quick? No, because they're sitting back as Hall of Famers, John soon to be a Hall of Famer, watching this company just signing this big deal with Netflix, and everything's clicking on all cylinders. And if you're a fan, you've watched these Undertaker, his podcast, you've watched John Cena and all these mainstream interviews putting over where WWE is today and saying how impressive it is and how it's at a place that they never were at when they were the top guys in the company. And so you think that's weird that they'd come back and stop this guy, Dusty Rhodes' son, okay, from living out his childhood dream and finishing story because, I don't know, a guy from their era, The Rock, is screwing them over because he's part of the board of directors? Of course that makes sense. Those are baby faces true and through. That's what baby faces do.
And not to mention, Cena got murdered by Solo Sikoa in his last appearance on WWE TV in that match in Saudi Arabia. He got like 18 Samoan spikes. So it made sense for him to be the one. Yeah, it made sense for him with Solo. You know what's crazy with Rock and Undertaker is that they have never faced off on a Big Four pay-per-view, like a SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, or maybe Survivor Series. I don't consider that a big one,
but it wasn't a lot of it. No.
Yeah.
So one more. Brett Murphy, $5 saying night two way better than night one, but damn it, I missed my 6-pack run in by one. LOL. Otherwise, I'm done hearing saying finish the story. I mean, after tomorrow night, that's retired.
Please.
Although Cody, technically he's going to SmackDown now. There's going to be a draft though soon, right? Somebody reported a draft
Yes.
coming up.
Oh,
very
every year
soon.
they do it after WrestleMania, right?
Well, it varies. When
Well, they started doing it in October with the new TV season, but yeah. Triple H said it was going to happen soon.
Yeah.
BBBS cards, $1.99. Remember that time Matt got mad about super chats? That's right. Keep them coming, guys.
Hey, we got 20 more, Matt.
Yeah, we got 20 more, and we're gonna have more by
So
the time we
far.
get back to them next. But Fun Times of the Game says Def Rebel is robbing WWE blind with these themes. Given like Bruce Pritchard is friends with like Matt Kuhn and so many other people in the music community, like really they can't get anyone better to
What do you mean?
do some separate stuff. I don't know.
Who's
It
Def
is weird.
Rebels?
They're the
That's
ones
the
that
new
made it.
person doing the new theme. CFO broke up, and WWE's trying to phase out their themes over some publishing dispute. Is the rumor?
What song? Did they do all the wrestlers' music or something?
CFO did everything after Jim Johnston. So CFO was like 2012, 2013, 14
All the
onward.
last great like themes, like Nakamura and Bobby Roode.
Glorious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah.
But they're now being rotated and recycled. Okay,
Jinder
so let's
Mahal
talk.
was CFO too. Oh, sorry.
Oh my God, Jinder Mahal themes. Matt, it slaps. It's a total bop.
Slaps.
Slaps makes sense. Matt, think about back when we were in high school. Hold on a second, Matt. Think when we were in high school and think about riding in the car listening to MC Breed's Born to Roll and the way that bass would just kick. That's a song that slaps. It hits. Sorry, Raj.
Folks,
Master Ace, pardon me, not MC Breed. I apologize.
I'm ducking right now from the residual corniness falling off of that comment not hitting me.
Wait,
Therefore, I haven't gotten any on me by not responding.
I've got a corniness question for you. Do you have any wrestling themes on your workout list?
No,
aside from your own.
No, but no, I wouldn't go to mine. I would though. Who's would I if I had to? Romans I thought was pretty cool.
It's good.
I wouldn't work out to it though. No, my stuff's like Metallica and Motley Crue stuff.
Same here. I have a lot of Metallica, a lot of Eminem, a lot of Tupac, but I do have Jinder Mahal, and I do have Triple H's original theme, My Time, which I don't know. That's still
the one that he would come out with China. That one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, no, the DX with Run DMC remix.
Yeah,
that was good. That was good.
I just want Raj covering wrestling themes, a cappella. Yes, Master Ace, not MC Breed. MC Breed was no future in your front, and Master Ace was Born to Roll. I apologize for the confusion. But yes, those songs slap, literally. Okay, Bailey versus Io for the Women's Championship tonight. Bailey not getting the Paramore entrance she wanted, but she still had a pretty cool, elaborate entrance, which was great. What did you think of the match, man?
Awesome match, great selling as usual by Bailey. Bailey's another Sami Zayn style of fight from underneath babyface. Even though she's bigger than her opponent, like she's like Io Sky is not some like towering, diesel, female talent. She's a cruiserweight style, right, and does a lot of things that are aerial and a lot of finesse. And Bailey still made you believe that she can fight from underneath, and it looked like the heat was legitimate on her. She looked like she was really getting hurt because of how she sells everything. Bailey is such a great seller. Such a great baby face. I gotta stop talking with my hands because every time I do, I knock my damn wire. So we got to get this fixed, you guys.
You sound great.
All right, good.
Raj is going to fly out there just to work on your setup.
Please.
I thought this match was great. I thought Io, Bailey, they killed it. Back in the day, this was the spot. It was the death spot, right? It was like where they kind of throw a match out there to get people to, cool down, get a drink, get ready for the main event.
Yep.
And that's not happening anymore. Now you got 6 matches on the show. Each one means something. They got their time. They shined, and I thought they delivered a killer match. I love this match. I thought Bailey came off as this huge star. Io, I thought it was her best match in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they just delivered like crazy, and it was awesome. And Bailey winning, it was crazy to think that this was her first singles match at a WrestleMania, and then it was just a feel good moment. It was something you really wanted that for Bayley, and she gets it, and your heart kind of just goes out.
Does she need to go? I think she's going to go full face now. Even if you look at how she was tweeting the last few days, she was nicer, but she still wasn't full baby face yet. After that crowd reaction, it just seems like that's what the people want.
Yeah.
I think Bayley was always one of those heels that you always still liked, like you knew she's a good person. She's acting like a heel there because you have those like Logan Paul, people genuinely dislike.
Right.
Yeah.
There were some Bubba Ray Dudley when he did the heel act, you genuinely dislike. It's hard to find true heels that people genuinely dislike. Bayley wasn't one of them.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I don't think she's gonna do the hugger thing again and bring back the Bayley buddies, but I do think
she doesn't need it. That would be a step back.
It would. She doesn't need it.
No, it was really, really good. I enjoyed that. Did you guys watch the press conference after we got done last night? Or go back and check out any of it?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, watching Bianca, Jade, and Naomi together palling around there, it was just like, oh my god, like I want them versus Damage Control for the titles, for the tag titles, but I just want them. I think they could take over WWE. They were so entertaining to watch the three of them together last night.
It was, and there's also 100% shoot made it even more. They're very naturally very entertaining.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns just flat out kicked out somebody at that press conference, right?
That was Issa's fault because she did the acknowledge thing, and then somebody started booing, and then Roman was like, "Get her out of here."
It was.
Who boos at a press conference?
Well, if you're gonna go kayfabe, man.
Yeah. Oh,
you're supposed to be a reporter, right?
I haven't heard from Issa.
A reporter shouldn't be booing at a press conference. Wrestling is so weird, but
it is. So they give the attendance tonight slightly up, like 1,000 people from last night. Still cool though.
But, I gotta say this: the total number ended in 420, and Snoop Dogg announced it. That had to be right. Like it ended in 420. That had to be a little tongue in cheek. I can't see it be that was the real number, and Snoop is announcing it, but who knows? But 72,000 plus. Sold out. They opened up some seats and they sold those out. WWE's on a hot streak, and
I'm just retweeting the link because we're still going strong, guys. We got this main event to cover, which
we have a lot of super chats. Should we get some?
I know. Yeah. Why don't you toss them up, Raj? What do you like? What do you want to talk about?
All right, here I'll throw the main event ones during the main event. Serious question: was this the greatest night in wrestling history? A Steel.
I mean,
$4.99.
Prisoner of the moment, much.
But
it was a great night.
Okay, so love letter to professional wrestling. Yes, ma'am.
Shut up. Would you stop saying that? So here's how we can't answer that yet. Well, just like back when WrestleMania 1 first happened, they couldn't answer that 6 months later or a year later that was the greatest night in wrestling history. It's going to take time. We got to let this set in. Let's see what happens 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and see what people look back on this pay-per-view because of this new changing of the guard. Cody being the champion helps, being the tip of the spear of the said new era being kicked off under the Paul Levesque era. We'll see. Time will tell.
And ultimately, it's how it makes you feel, right? Like so many people hate WrestleMania 4 and think that it sucked. I loved that image of Macho Man winning the tournament, and like that is forever ingrained in my head. But I hated the rest of the matches on that show.
Yeah,
but Macho Man winning the title, still a magical moment for me.
All right.
The Token Dom, $4.99 super chat. The 2-minute clip of Cody pinning Roman has 1 million views on Twitter within 20 minutes already. This was sent an hour ago. So a lot of interest tonight. I mean, look at our numbers. It's the best we've ever done. Huge night.
Hit subscribe, folks. Hit subscribe, folks.
Hit subscribe. This is a super chat for you to interrupt Matt when he's ranting about Tony Khan showing the CM Punk footage.
That means you want to see it. Like a good little Mark. A good little Tony Khan Mark fan. Good job.
All right. And we're at over 2,500. Again, the best we've
Yeah.
ever done. And we've only been around a few months, so we really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. FT3 with the $4.99 super chat. Raj, you think Seth is on his way out? That would be a massive loss, especially considering he is actually the original Paul Levesque guy.
No, hell no. He's not going anywhere. If he's hurt, he's going to go lick his wounds, get his surgery, whatever have you, if that's what needs to happen here. He's not going away and retiring. Hell no. No, God no.
His contract is coming up. Him and Becky Lynch, and both their contracts are coming up.
And what do you think is going to happen?
I think they stay. WWE with their current
Of course
talent,
they're going to stay.
Right. Like Edge is not a current. I don't consider that a current talent. Like when they lost Edge.
Right.
But you know, they kept Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, like the people in the midst, for the most part, you know, the last couple of years, they've kept. And I think Seth, Becky Lynch, Drew McIntyre, I think they all stay.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, it's obvious they're staying, but okay.
Yeah. Harris Gala with the $10. Is that Australian?
No,
AED?
AED is the currency of.
Okay. But
it's the United Arab Emirates, Dirham.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. My best friend is in Dubai right now. Seth is booked very poorly this weekend. Very poorly through the weekend. He did kind of lose twice, and then he got punked out pretty quick. You got the Shield entrance, Big Pops. He just gets fucking laid out.
No, they didn't even show him. They just showed him.
Yeah, that was bad camera work.
They showed him midair, like Roman Reigns in midair, punching him in the like some guy with the Shield backpack on out. That's all I saw.
Yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. I felt bad for him.
Yeah,
I can't.
But that's a hell of a. But he is such a damn MVP of that company. Such a, like the workhorse gets overused often. He is. He's a stud in that ring. And that he helped that company more, and people will give. Hopefully, people will see how important he was to that company during this run.
I think he kind of diminishes himself when he dresses like today. He came out. He looked like a cross between the Scarecrow, Lady Gaga, and Macho Man. Right?
It was
like
a one-man Mardi Gras.
But when he's serious, he's awesome. He's so good when he gets serious and gets fired up. Him as himself is so good. When he is forcing this, trying to be a character that it isn't natural, I think it just hurts him. And I'll just do a couple more, and then we'll move on. Terrence Whitted, I thought the glass was going to shatter for The Rock. I think a lot of people did. Yeah, that would have been an amazing moment. Our good friend John Cena's ball spot,
who made an appearance tonight during the main event.
And you saw Cena putting his hair back, looking like he was trying to cover it up, but
he was.
Can't wait to see Tony Khan meltdown when CM Punk pops their biggest rating since he's left all while he works for WWE. Makes AEW look like such a joke.
Like, what would that say? Like, if that's their biggest rating, and it's because they air this footage, what does that say about them? Like, that's horrible. And you're just like, that wouldn't look good. That would not look good if they get a number out of that. They get a number out of that, that's gonna look horrible. That a guy from a different company, a top star from the other brand, not your brand, to like punked out one of your talents that you're paying money to be a star. In the world of fake pro wrestling, it's supposed to be tough because all pro wrestlers are supposed to be somewhat tough, right? Like, I'm not saying Jack Perry's supposed to be Bruiser Brody, but he's supposed to be able to win matches from time to time and be believable. So my point is, I just don't get who this helps, but we haven't seen it, so it's so hard to talk about. I want to see it, and then let's, pick it apart if need be. But if not, walk it back if there's something in there that Punk did not share with us.
Can't wait to see what the smoking gun is they think they have.
At best, they tie this into a storyline that gets the new viewers watching.
Okay.
At best,
that would be smart. That would be smart.
At worst, or more likely, you're relying on a star in the other promotion for a one-time rating, and just to prove a point. Which it's kind of like, man, be an adult.
Yeah.
Nothing's gonna happen. Listen. Even if Punk goes with the jerk, nothing's gonna happen to him. If your goal is to get back at Punk, Tony, nothing's gonna happen. As you saw, nobody gave a rat's you know what when he came out to Chicago,
right,
at the pay-per-view, re-debuting for WWE. They haven't cared since about anything he did with you guys, because again, WWE has a broad spectrum of fans. They don't just have internet fans. It's a broad spectrum of fans, right? That don't even know who Hangman is. And see, guys, you just caught it right there. I just put two words together. Adam Hangman Page together. They don't know who he is. The normal average WWE fan, they don't know who those people are. I'm not saying it to be jerk, but I'm saying it because that's the reality. If you saw, nobody cared. They didn't even get Punk's joke when he said it in the ring that night about you can't just go around punching everybody around. Like nobody went over everybody's head in the arena. They didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, Dirt Sheets did, but no
that's
one.
my point.
Yeah. I mean,
internet fans.
I know. Okay, so but let me ask you, just to be clear on this isn't going to be the Bucks doing a billionaire Ted sort of.
No. It's actual footage. Okay. I talked to people in AEW today, and it's the actual footage.
I would have popped if they did do that, by the way.
Like, yeah, I think you'd have to at least make funny voices over it or something, or do like Mystery Science Theater, or I don't know, something.
Yeah. No, it's the actual footage.
Okay.
J.R. Smith, congratulations on a great weekend, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for always watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, fun with games.
$4.99 super chat. Roman lost because he couldn't let go of the past. That chair shot to Seth was symbolic because it's always in his mind and it cost him. That is a good little throwback. Seth hitting Dean Ambrose and hit Roman first with that chair. So
right.
And last one before two more before we move on. 80 super fans with the $5 super chat. Probably the greatest WrestleMania main event ever. And condolences to NYC Issa.
I like where your head's at, 80 super fan. Yeah, you guys need to suck it. Cody Waiting. He just said it. Greatest WrestleMania event ever.
I don't know, man. Rock versus Austin, WrestleMania 17, Hogan Andre.
Nope. Our fan who just gave us a super chat said this is.
And last one, and we'll get to the rest later, we'll promise. But Brett Murphy saying, I don't know what Samantha Irving's salary is on her contract, but she freaking deserves a boatload of money doing this. She might already be the GOAT announcer. That's always, sorry, buddy, that's always going to be Howard Finkel. Always.
I'm nuts. I loved Howard. Howard would set up our travel for us. And love when he would call and leave me a voicemail, especially I purposely not answer it so I could have his voicemail on my voicemail. But just because his voice, it's his golden voice. So, anyways, but she's getting there. I'm not maybe prisoner of the moment here, but she's so good.
Alicia Taylor in NXT is also really awesome.
You can't say anything good about NXT now. Now that you've admitted you want to be a writer there.
I didn't know, Matt. I didn't mean like I'm submitting my resume. I'm saying like it'll be fun to write for NXT.
When you put things over NXT.
That was
wrong. I'm not like Jack Farmer saying like WWE hire me to be on air. I'm saying like it'll be fun to submit stories for NXT. What? I like NXT. I want to all the bad booking ideas you've had to hear over the last 8 years, Matt. I want to put those on TV on NXT.
So Matt, when your travel arrangements changed, was Howard Finkel like your new flight to so and so? That would be awesome.
Yes, but he wouldn't say "and new." I wish. I'll tell you exactly what it was. Do you remember back in when we were young? Back in the day when we were younger, watching when it was on the USA Network on Sundays, All Star Wrestling. And the plane would come across the screen when it's supposed to be commercial break. A plane would come across like, coming to your town is WWE. The plane would come by. And it'd say,
live event center.
Yeah. Poughkeepsie Mid-Hudson Civic Center, September 21st. It'd be his voice. So it would sound like that. It would sound more like that.
Yeah, okay.
Dark Money Zone, $5 saying, Raj, Glenn, Matt, the best wrestling podcast trio. The super chat is rated M for Matt Morgan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice of you. So let's talk about that main event tonight. Cody Rhodes finished the story in a Bloodline rules match that was pretty straightforward for the first half. I was actually, do you think
3/4?
Yeah. And in fact, to that end, Matt, I want your take on this. When you announce that you've got these crazy stipulations and everyone on the internet's like, oh my God, this is going to be bedlam. It's going to get so nuts. We're going to have all these returns. It's going to be like Endgame, yada, yada. Do you think that almost negates the experience of while you're waiting to get there? Because you kind of know that, okay, the match ain't ending for X amount of time.
Right. Yeah. Yes and no. The reason I say no is because they actually, in my opinion, superseded what my expectation was. Okay. But wrestling dork over here, wrestling brain thinks, well, if I'm Roman Reigns, why did I not just have Rock, everybody out there kicking the shit out of Cody as soon as the bell rang and just sat there drinking a pina colada and then have Rock throw him to you and you pin him?
Yeah. It did lack that spectacle at the beginning. The entrances were cool. I enjoyed Cody with his Skeletor from Masters of the Universe movie homage at the beginning. It was great seeing Brandy. When I saw Brandy, I was like, I think Cody's winning.
Yeah.
She looked spectacular as well. Yeah. She looked awesome.
Yeah.
I thought I agree with you. You knew that when they're going through the first 25 minutes of the match that it wasn't ending until you got all the gaga, right? You knew all that had to happen, but they had a hell of a match before you had all the run-ins, and the run-ins didn't take that long. It was
they
quick.
were right there. Yeah. They came
it was like boom out. Yeah, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, boom out. Cena, Solo Sikoa. It was again a minute.
Cameos.
Boom out. The Rock bottom, boom out. Undertaker out.
And then they all disappeared when the lights went back on after the Undertaker showed up.
Yeah.
And then went back to being a standard match.
You know what was great? I love when Roman hit the crossroads on Cody before all the.
Oh, so funny!
It was so funny. He's like, "This move sucks.
This move never beats anybody."
And Roman was letting it flow. You could tell this is his last match for a while. I think he's taking some time off. He was like not giving a shit. He was cussing. He was using the Rock's vocab. He was.
This is what got him over during COVID, though. This is where his character made that big major league jump in character development because he started doing that. He started talking. There's no arena. There's no fans in the arena. So now you could hear him audibly in the ring talking shit to his opponent, especially that storyline versus Jey Uso, his cousin. That was great character development work in the ring, mushing him in the face and talking trash. But more characters need to do that. I don't know why they don't learn from him and do the same thing. Kevin Owens used to do it as a heel, and he was funny too. I'm not even saying that to be funny, but like that's your place to
entertaining.
Yeah, put your character in there so now we know who you are. That's where you add your stank onto your character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was great, and
so good
when he came out. When he first came out, if you go back and watch his entrance, Roman's entrance, you could tell he seemed a little emotional, like he knew this was his last appearance for a while. And it was. I think Roman. This title reign started with a bunch of screens disguised as fans, right? Like that's how long it's been. And I don't know if anyone else has had a title reign in wrestling. Definitely not the major leagues that long.
They said he beat Hulk Hogan tonight, correct?
No, in terms of
number of WrestleManias. Yeah, number of WrestleMania events.
Okay.
Not the national
September would have been.
No, okay.
That was the original plan, Matt, but the Cody Crybabies had to screw it up.
The national record's awesome.
Right. But Roman, man, he got in that position. He stuck with it. He became a real character. And man, the business went through the roof. Yeah. He was at the top of the helm that entire time. Yep. I feel like everyone's like, oh, he didn't wrestle that much. He only defended the title 3 times or whatever. And it's like, man, he elevated the game. And
he was the draw.
Appreciation. Yeah.
He was the draw. No question.
Yeah.
Great reign. And I think he looked very dominant in this match tonight. It was good. Very straightforward match, except for that cameo portion. The cameos just started coming. I mean, you had Jimmy Uso then confronted by Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa confronted by John Cena.
He stuck around. John Cena stayed there.
The Rock confronted by The Undertaker. Like, it was pretty nonstop.
It was awesome. It was perfect. Didn't take away from the match. Didn't take away from the story. And again, the end of the night when he hit his crossroads on him, the crowd that's a pop.
Yeah,
it was a major pop.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a situation where like Undertaker hits Roman with a tombstone and then Cody pins him.
No.
They had him get his win legit. The cameos were with each other, and then they moved to the side.
Yep, and didn't overshadow anything.
Yeah, and Seth was interesting because Roman taking out Seth, and then it was funny was that Seth sort of faded into the background, but then came back out at the end of the curtain call at the end, and he did shake Cody's hand. But I do have a feeling
he was selling.
I mean, but that's the next major opponent for Cody though, right? Because it makes sense that Seth lost his title because he was banged up from trying to help Cody. Seth still has never beat Cody. Now it's for stakes. Like, I don't think Seth's going to win, but I do think that's going to be a good feud.
I just want to fast forward to when CM Punk becomes heel and he can go toe to toe with Cody on the mic. I just can't wait for that. That's what I want to see. Because he will eviscerate him on the mic.
And man, Seth, when he did his run-in, he went full on. He dyed his hair. He did the whole Shield hair, like he dyed his hair. I think like during the show.
The streak was back.
He
was like fully blonde.
Oh wow, I didn't watch
like
that.
he committed to it. And he got punked out immediately. It was kind of funny. It was like Matt Cardona when they were like burying him. It was kind of like that. Where
it was not good how they presented him because Matt, to your point, the first time you saw Seth on camera after the Shield theme was when Roman was punching Seth.
Yes, I didn't even see his face. I just saw a body
it was
get
awful.
Bumped to the ground with a backpack on.
I was like, what's going on? Is Dean Ambrose back? What's happening here? Why can't we see who the Shield member is? Was it Kurt Angle, honorary Shield member? Like, it was weird.
And he had a great entrance. Like they played that Shield music for a second. Did any of you think John Moxley?
Yeah,
for a second.
Because Moxley re-signed, but
how did he do that? How'd that happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is just getting punked.
Dude, that would have been a great entry point for MJF. Just saying.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when they said that if he lost, he would never get another shot at the title. I mean, MJF should have cost him again, right? How amazing would that have been?
That's the only way I would have been cool with Cody losing.
Okay, so here's my question. I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. Of those curtain call endings where you raise the champ up in recent memory, that has not gone well. It happened with Rhea Ripley in NXT. Her title run was pretty lackluster.
We're not including NXT.
But wasn't Finn Balor raised up when he won the Universal Championship that night, right after the brand split on Raw in the draft?
No, because he got hurt.
No, but he made it through the match.
He did.
We didn't know till the next night he got hurt. I'm just trying to think.
I don't remember.
Just trying to think.
I always remember, Sting winning the title when he beat Hogan at Starrcade 7. Brett beating. The worst was when Luger beat Yoko by countout, and they acted like he won the title when he won that match by countout.
Yes.
Kofi got the raise.
Oh yes, Kofi. Did he? That was just New Day, wasn't it?
Maybe. Still counts as being lifted up. I don't know. I'm weirdly, like I said, I'm a little stitious. By the way, 2,800 people closing on 29 because the WWE press conference ended.
Tell your friends.
Get those super chats in because we got 16 of them teed up. And Matt Morgan, if there's something that he just hates more than anything, it's people giving money to a charity and wanting us to read something on screen.
I'm done. I got nothing to add. We went over the matches. It's done. My job here is done.
Uber Nubage saying, I think 100% the Bucks are trolling to get views. What?
That's something we didn't mention. When they did that opening video package for Seth versus Roman, they showed the Young Bucks in one of those pictures.
Cody.
What did I say?
Cody versus Roman. Yeah, but they showed Cody's video package. The story really quick was he went away and came back. When they showed him go away and build something, they did show him with the Young Bucks. Yeah, it's true.
So Young Bucks got their WrestleMania moment.
That was cool.
I thought this was going to happen. Cool. People thought this was going to happen. John Cena's bald spot says, you think Jacob Fatu debuts tomorrow to join the Bloodline? He's signed with WWE, apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me this? Why don't you guys text me this?
I thought you read the wrestling news, Matt.
No.
I mean, you're a pretty connected guy.
In wrestling?
keep visiting Wrestling Inc. just out of habit, even though I have nothing to do with it.
Why would I be wrestling news sites? I'm not in wrestling no more. Why would I read it?
Jacob thought too, though. I'm glad they didn't have him come in tonight because that would have been a fart in church because no one knows who he is yet.
That's gonna be great. Good.
Right.
I'm so happy for him.
He reminds me of Umaga. He's a big dude that just moves so well.
Happy for him.
Majestic Marie $2 saying Drew kept Priest from cashing in twice before, so was revenge.
Good point
from Priest.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great moment.
Yeah,
I thought it was good, and I love how he did it. 80 Superfan $5 saying the next step for LA Knight should be to challenge Logan Paul at SummerSlam.
So I thought that too, but didn't he already go deal with Logan Paul's storyline, or am I making that up?
No, not yet.
Okay, then that is
right. We would keep talking about it.
Then yeah. Okay, yes.
Jason Hafner $20 saying Pat McAfee is the current Don West, a fan with a mic.
Is that good or bad, Jason Hafner? I need to know if you mean it a good way or a bad way. Okay. Because I love Pat McAfee, and I also love Don West.
Me too.
Thank you for
just
your,
makes it. And like tonight and last night, I had people over who were sports fans but not wrestling fans that were watching, and that Pat McAfee voice, because they all know Pat McAfee. It's almost like a reassurance, not a reassurance, but it's like, oh yeah, this guy watches this product and is excited about it.
Should I?
Maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I should be too.
Yeah. The game 1999 saying, were you guys expecting Triple H to pedigree Cody in that celebration as a swerve?
No, but I would have popped, but no.
So Cody
Triple
got
H
the mic.
Done.
Yeah, Cody got the mic, called out Triple H and Bruce Pritchard. Bruce Pritchard, what an ascendance out of the wrestling game completely. I remember, Raj, we interviewed him on Wrestling Inc. when he was launching his podcast. Yeah. And now he's got the biggest podcast in all of professional wrestling with something to wrestle with. And in a huge power position in WWE.
Used to be, yeah.
It's not bigger than Cornette's podcast, is it?
Cornette's is bigger an hour.
Excuse me. I have access to all the numbers. I buy ads on these, and no, Cornette's.
Yeah, really? I thought
Cornette's
went down a lot.
Cornette's is up there, but Pritchard is a little more.
Were you judging it off of subscriptions or views?
No, the number, actual raw third-party IAB certified numbers.
Who's number one behind us? It's not Bischoff, right?
No, Bischoff's is like I shouldn't give exact numbers. Bischoff's is about like half of what Pritchard's is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a hierarchy to these things, but I don't want Conrad to get mad at me by spilling all the deets, as it were. DC Thomas $5 saying
50 more people and we're at 3,000.
Wow. Oh my God. Yes, this is great. This is like old Wink numbers. That's better than old Wink numbers. BC Thomas $5 saying, I think the burial of Seth was full of purpose. He told Cody he would be his shield and he lost everything because of it. Seth heel turn incoming.
He does. I wouldn't disagree with it. Poor guy.
Yeah.
God, he kept
getting something.
Crap end of the stick, no matter whatever way he went. He tried to do the right thing to help Cody out night one. Yeah, I'd feel his heel turn.
Lawless $5 saying hashtag thank you Roman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Man,
acknowledge him.
So many. And Majestic Marie $5 saying, in honor of my sweet autistic nephew, thank you. Drew stopped Priest from cashing in twice, so he got his revenge there. I loved it. And thank you, Marie. And again, all money proceeds received from super chats and ad revenue from YouTube for this quarter and the podcast being donated to Culture City, a nonprofit dedicated to building sensory inclusive experiences for neurodivergent fans. So, what else thought-wise? The sponsors tonight, once I was kind of used to it, it didn't seem as obnoxious tonight.
At all.
It was very different. I felt very different to me tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it because we were used to it, or it just wasn't?
Or was it less
in your face?
Was it less?
No, because you had Slim Jim during LA Night. I mean, you still had the different matches with different sponsors on the barricades, but I don't know. It just didn't feel as.
It didn't feel as in my face.
Over the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was well done. I liked when the dude wipes thing would just say "dude." I was like, "Oh, that's lovely."
That was weird.
It was just "dude."
Yeah.
Then it's like commentary. I've got people
Hopefully-
that are not wrestling fans texting me about WrestleMania tonight and the finish. So, WrestleMania does have that special place. So let me ask you
Yes.
this. How do you think Cody is going to fare as a babyface champion? It's been a while since we had someone so earnest and
So-
sincere at the top.
In today's day and age, be babyface, which is next to impossible to do. I'm just gonna call it. It is. But I don't care what happens from here on in. I just wanted to see my guy win the championship at least once. That's all I care about. So
Okay,
whatever
so
happens
yeah.
from here on in, I don't care.
Wait, so tomorrow night, if they Matt Cardona him and just
Yeah.
he loses the title in an open challenge, you're like, whatever.
Maybe that'll be different. Okay, fine. Give it a week.
Yeah.
After a week, I don't care because again, he did something. Well, no, but for real, because he did something his dad didn't do and his brother didn't do, and I got sucked into that storyline. I really did.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, the last time that WWE kind of went all in on a babyface,
with Cena.
probably or Roman Reigns, but he wasn't over
Yeah.
with it. He was getting booed when they did that. This is the first time
And he wasn't
that
being
you have a babyface that people
squeaky
legitimately
clean.
like.
So it's
Right.
or that also plays the squeaky clean. Usually 1980s babyface, which is a great guy. Everybody likes him. Cena was, but Roman, if you remember in his promos, he was trying to always be cool.
Right.
He wasn't squeaky clean babyface. You know what I mean?
And when he turned squeaky clean babyface, the fans kind of turned on him.
Yeah.
Like Cody Rhodes right now is almost like Tommy Rich in the 80s, like,
Yes.
yeah, let's go do this, like, yeah.
Yes. Come on, Kentuckiana, let me hear you.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
And it's working. Like, who would have thought in today's day and age that it would work?
Oh, yeah.
It's working. But this is the first time they've had a baby face that the fans are behind before they do the title change in forever, since like Austin. So
So we'll see.
3,000 live, by the way, over 900 on YouTube. But here's the thing, I think, to put it in context. Here's what we have awaiting us in the next 6 months to a year. We've got The Rock versus Roman. We've got Cody versus The Rock. We've got Cody versus Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Roman versus Cody in a rematch.
Yeah. We've got these high-level matches. I think we can get them through the end of the year, and that's without
CM
even
Punk.
who's on the come up.
We still have
and
Punk,
Gunther.
Drew, Punk.
It's like
They're
so many
so
main event
stacked.
guys. Right? Yeah.
And tonight, did you guys see that? Punk was in the ring as well, with talking to Cena in the background.
Yeah.
There's just so many things like I never thought I would see again as a WWE fan.
I know.
That I just thought was awesome.
And it's weird. I mean, it didn't feel like Marvel. It felt like Disney to me tonight, where it was just like all these characters just palling around. It was weird to see. Right.
I liked it, but just like I love some people didn't like the or in Punk video that's out there. Them like watching their match back. I loved that. I loved that because they're older now. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. I mean, and what did CM Punk do differently? He's hanging out with the Miz last night. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say that closing scene. You had Randy Orton, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Triple H, John Cena. And they're conversing with each other. It's just like, holy shit, the amount of star power that's just like in this moment is gigantic.
Yep.
It's good.
Sorry, my daughter got first place in her dance competition. Yay!
I mean, it's not Cody finishing the story, Raj.
Sorry.
But it's exciting.
They just got back. I'm sorry, go ahead. What was the question?
I don't know.
You just killed your poor daughter.
I was being funny. I was like, she got first place.
Get out of here.
Cody finished the story. I mean, come on. Like, it's the second best thing that happened in the Giri household.
And my Giri finished the story. My girl.
Anyway, so how far away was this competition that they got back so late?
It was in Westminster. So, it's been back and forth all weekend. So, they each have both my daughters. They both finished first and second in a bunch of different dances, and it's been awesome.
So congrats, that's awesome. It is.
Yeah, and this is also my daughter's oldest daughter Maya's birthday weekend. Missed WrestleMania 25 because she was born the day before. Was in the hospital that day, so this is why I never go to WrestleMania, because I want to be here for the birthday. Anyway, all right.
Yes, I've enjoyed those years where you would fly out for WrestleMania press, then fly home for WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
More super chats. Oh my god, you guys are amazing. Thank
you guys.
This is a lot. Cigar Punjabi, great point. 5 of the next 6 WWE PLEs are at international venues. You see this as a new trend coming out in WWE, where special shows will continue to become more global. In fact, they're going to Saudi Arabia for SmackDown and King and Queen of the Ring in May.
Saw that. I did see that. Yeah. Yes, I do think so. Yes. Why not? They should have been doing that a long time ago, honestly. But because WWE was such a big brand that even when we would go overseas, there's always the same places we would go.
Yeah.
It was always typically England, Scotland, Ireland would be our Europe loop for like a 2-week tour, and then we'd come back to the States and do our show. But like, do you know what I mean? Now they're going out there and putting their PLEs there, which is great. And I think the fans there are going to love it. It's always going to be a packed arena. It's always going to be sold out. It's always going to look great on television, and it shows global dominance.
Yeah. And they're breaking records everywhere they go. But it's funny because PLEs, and the PLEs in the US tend to be higher priced and sometimes lower attended because it's the markets they go to regularly. I think they've really stumbled onto something quite special, and it's working for them. Question is, does CM Punk go to Saudi Arabia after he had such choice and harsh words when he was in AEW
We'll
for
see.
the AEW roster?
Love you.
We will see, won't we? Mute his microphone.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
Give him some privacy.
There. Raj is muted. Raj, unmute yourself when you're ready to come back. All good, Raj? Oh, Raj is still muted. Let me
Sorry.
There we go. I unmuted you. There you go. We want to give you
internet. Gotcha. The international PLEs, that's a Nick Khan move, and it's a genius move because they don't feel like B pay-per-views when they when they did Fastlane and Fastlane last fall in the US. That felt like a throwaway show. But when they did Backlash in Puerto Rico, and granted Puerto Rico's a US territory, whatever, but it felt like a big deal. Elimination Chamber, Australia, felt like a big deal. So I love it.
Me too.
Nick Khan's a beast. He's a genius. And I think this was probably his first pay-per-view experience where they showed Cody going to Nick Khan at the very end.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think CM Punk goes to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be interesting.
He's been a good soldier so far.
Yeah.
Remember, he ripped on The Miz, and he was doing the pre-show with The Miz. So,
I didn't have the energy to watch the pre-shows. I was like, I can't do an additional 2 hours, 4 hours.
I didn't either, but I think Punk made a wisecrack about. I think they mentioned the attendance, and then Sam Punk asked The Miz if he got the attendance tattooed on his forearm, which is a little shot at Will Ospreay got the all-in attendance tattooed on his forearm. So that was a shot.
It's fun for those of us.
It wasn't a shot. It was just being funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, and I think a lot of these guys are friendly enough that they know they're busting each other's balls, and it's not mean spirited. Jim Viviano, 1999, saying, "Was there last night? Awesome. Was explaining the long-term story to my boys. Wow, all these years. Shield Seth gets the chair payback, opens up Cody for the win. I guess. I guess Undertaker took Austin's spot.
Yeah, for sure.
It was cool, man. It would have been great to be there. Although I don't know. I wonder sometimes if it's better. I think the experience is sometimes better watching it.
So that tonight with Undertaker coming out, trust me, that would have been way better being in the arena and listening to that and seeing that.
Yeah.
If people lose their minds like that, that would have been cool.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think it was a little rushed with those cameos? Like they could have added a couple more minutes.
No, because then you worry about taking away from the finish.
Yeah.
No.
It reminded me of this, and this is a little.
It was perfect.
I'm gonna nerd on this a little bit, Matt, a little deeper than even you would. This didn't feel like Avengers Endgame to me. This felt like the end of Rise of Skywalker when Rey channels the spirits of Obi-Wan and Yoda, and everyone's talking to her, and she has all their energy. It felt like that to me. Like Cody's getting all the hero energy from all these other wrestlers to defeat Roman, and I liked that. I like that better than the Endgame angle, even. You know, it's a passing of the torch.
All right. That's what you thought.
Matt, what's the last Star Wars movie you watched? It's been a while.
Yeah, when I was a baby, no, when I was a kid, and I watched the
one with the
original Star
Ewoks?
Wars. Yeah, there you go.
But no, I'm really curious to see where they go with Cody. I mean, it's exciting. These are exciting times because wow, 3,100 people, almost 1,000 on YouTube, Raj. 1,000 on YouTube alone.
Thank you, guys. I do got to say this.
crazy
You know, people talk about what a failure Ultimate Warrior was as champion, right? And I think what really hurt him is he didn't have a huge heel after he beat Hogan to feud with. Like they did Rick Rude, but he had already beaten him and never been in the main event. He just didn't have a Roddy Piper like Hulk Hogan did or an Andre the Giant. He was... and I felt like that hurt him. And so I think Cody Rhodes, you got to put him with top level guys or, you know, and otherwise you don't want those matches feeling mid card right off the bat.
It's not going to be the Rock and Roman. So we got the Cody Victory Tour coming up, and I think it's going to be Seth.
Drew as well is somebody the fans will not cheer over Cody because he does his job getting heel heat. Just that'd be a very good opponent when the time's right as well.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's got to be Drew or who else is hot right now that feels like a top level guy that you could do with Cody.
Seth turning, but I don't know. Just last night, remember what you said about Seth? You said he didn't belong in that tag match. You thought he stuck out as a non-main eventer compared to the other three.
But he could use that for a heel turn. And I think as a heel, automatically that would freshen him up.
And he's got to cut the dressing stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Stop the Lady Gaga, Scarecrow, Macho Man. And I love Macho Man, but
but it doesn't look like it's real. That's what you're getting at. It's not because he's wearing it. It's because it's not him. It's so obvious he's pretending to be a character. It's not really who he is.
Yeah. And Peter Bahi bringing up Gunther. I think you wait on Gunther.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're not.
You don't want Gunther being beat right off the bat.
No, not yet. No.
Yeah.
Okay. We got super chats. George Devine, speaking of which, $2 says, who does Cody face at Backlash?
When's Backlash?
That's the one that's coming up in France?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Not everyone at once.
Don't know.
Seth Rollins?
Could be.
You want him to get a win. You want him.
When's Money in the Bank? That's in Canada this year.
Yeah.
He just said Seth. There you go, Seth.
Okay.
Seth Rollins.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Someone's going to come out. Maybe Drew bides it. Maybe Drew goes after Cody while he's waiting for Punk to come back.
There you go.
You know, that could be good.
Yeah.
Steve Marcuccioli, $1.99. Ryder Park for the next PLE. Cody win was awesome.
Look at Ryder Park getting a shout out with an extra R, but hey, at least you spelled the first part of it right. I'm very impressed, Steve. Thank you. Ryder Park's our park here in Longwood.
Oh, yes. You got to get them on the loop, Matt.
Nice.
I wish.
Matt, if I get hired by NXT, should I move to Longwood? Is that a decent commute? Like,
yeah. Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Quick drive.
I wouldn't know. Like my realtor bought the house up the street from me, and I call him whenever anything is wrong. Matt, if I lived in the city where you were mayor, I would make your life hell because they're like, hey, Matt, quick question for you. Yeah. My realtor regrets being my neighbor, I'm sure, at least once a week. Jacob Hill, $5. Matt, you were awesome. Great seeing you still have love for the business.
Thanks, Jacob Hill.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, your passion for this is pretty incredible. Canvas $5 saying, wish we could have seen Dustin a part of this.
Yes.
Would have been interesting to see him as a part of it. Hardly even mentioned.
Because he's wrestling for the competitor, you know?
Yeah.
He works for the competitor. I would have liked to have seen it too. Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
He was probably there. Ricky Starks was there. I don't know if you saw the pictures of him in the skybox.
Well, I'm sure Mercedes was there disguised.
Yeah, maybe.
Blake Sinjwald, $3. Nothing for next year's Mania. I'm surprised they didn't announce it today.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for Vegas.
Again, Nick Khan, man, I'm sure he's waiting for the best possible deal, but it's looking like Minneapolis.
I think it'll be Vegas.
I'd love Vegas. Yeah.
I just want everything in Vegas now because I'm 20 minutes away from the Strip.
I do think it'll be there for what it's worth. I think they had a bad experience with last night being so cold. Oh, no, you said the Metrodome, right?
Wait, Raj, what are you hearing? Raj has that smile where it's like Raj is getting insider info.
Oh, no. I was going to say, if it's Vegas, we should do a live show there. The three of us.
For Manny, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have the home studio fixed up by then. Hell, we'll rent the Blue Wire studio at the Wynn. We'll do it there in style.
There we go.
Yeah, it'll be good times. Do we say this one?
Manish Malou? I think we did this.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. FT3 $4.99 Seth versus Brock opener 19 when Seth won was a crazy pop as well. Oh, the first Mania. I mean, people went nuts for AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon that year they opened Mania.
They did. They had a good opening match, but this one I do remember now. He's right. Wasn't better than tonight's opener. It was not better than tonight's opener, though.
That was hot.
Exactly. I felt like tonight was better. And then again, you had the two. You also had the cash and everything.
Yeah. FT3 also saying if he hadn't already, Cole surpassed JR as the modern GOAT of announcers tonight. He was legit awesome.
She was phenomenal, but I'm never taking anybody over JR ever. No way. No way.
Jesse Ventura for me.
No way. JR calling Stone Cold. We make fun of it now. Stone Cold. But those.
My God, he broke him in half.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it. He was a different JR. He was so impactful and telling the stories of every talent.
Cole
I think the problem with JR right now is that he just feels
we're not talking about it now.
No. I'm just saying, like, JR back in the day was the GOAT. JR now, you could tell he's not that interested in what the current talent are doing.
Well, my opinion, period, the greatest announcer of all time is Jim Ross.
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Cole has gotten a third wind not having Vince in his ear. And even talk about smoking out with Snoop Dogg. Like,
it doesn't mean he's not great. Yeah, it doesn't mean he wasn't great. He's great how he signed the show off tonight. He's the best I've ever heard him sign a show off was tonight.
He's the best he's been. Yeah.
Aryan saying Seth said a few weeks ago he'd be Cody Shield. He kept his word. Main event was cinema. Best WrestleMania for me.
There we go. Good job.
Yeah.
Good comment.
Johnny Beswick, $1.99. Who do y'all got winning King and Queen of the Ring?
We don't even know who's in it though, like, right? Because usually they reserve those two for people that need it, as we saw by the last two winners. There weren't main event talents or acts that won it. It was Xavier Woods, and it was
Zelina Vega.
I say Trinidad. Yeah, Zelina Vega.
Yeah. I mean, I think LA Knight's past that, but he would be a very fun winner for King of the Ring.
It would be a fun winner, actually. But
yeah, there's no stakes for it, right? You're not getting a title shot, so it's almost like you want to get someone who's kind of like a Chad Gable, or yeah.
The hope is the goal of it is it's a nostalgia thing, a gimmick where they can say all these other main event talents. This was one of their stepping stones to become world champion because they won King of the Ring, Triple H, etc., etc.
Secure the boat. We're getting to you. Don't worry.
We got a lot of super chats.
All right.
I'm just trying to find Talani Tenalu, $2 saying, could he move to SmackDown? Also love the show. I mean, he should move to SmackDown, but maybe they flip it and maybe Priest and Judgment Day go to SmackDown if there's a Bloodline void. Judgment Day would be good. There was a draft.
I think SmackDown's still the A show. Cody should be on that.
Okay. Dark Money Zone $2 saying EO's counter on that Rose plant was sick.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Io looked
I
great
agree.
tonight, except for losing.
She did.
Matt, you always
we-
talk about maximizing your minutes, and she did that.
She did.
And there we go.
Secure
Secure
the
saying,
vote.
can WWE afford to have the Bloodline, Roman, and Paul off TV long? Glad to see the three of you together. Thank you, Mike. Thanks, Mike.
Paul ain't going nowhere. Paul will still be backstage helping everybody. But we need to see. I know Rock's supposed to be filming movies upcoming, and Roman rumor is supposed to be taking some time off, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I think they'll create something here. Every time we doubt the Bloodline storyline, something big happens. So
Yeah,
I'm hopeful. Again, I trust Triple H. I definitely trust him at this point that something cool will happen here.
Yeah, you don't want to see Paul off of TV because he is so
No.
good. And CM Punk, it doesn't make sense right now. Punk's still injured. It's not back. But hopefully he stays involved with this Bloodline thing. And, you know, again, Jacob Batu, Tamatanga, we'll see.
John Cena's bald spot $2 saying, think Cody debuts a new title design at all?
Yes.
Let's see. I don't know.
Okay.
I usually don't care about that stuff.
Can you guys name what that title is?
The Hall of Fame ring? The Hall of Fame ring?
No, Roman
the
Reigns
undisputed
title.
Universal title.
No, it's undisputed. No, it's
Universal.
It's undisputed WWE Universal World Championship. And it's just a mouthful. It's like, yes, Cody, just rename it WWE Championship.
Yeah.
It's long overdue.
No, Jeremy Cotto,
No.
$4.99. There is no possibility of an MJF appearance on Raw, and he's not.
And there's no
WWE
chance
bound.
Not anytime soon.
Why?
Because he's locked down. He re-signed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be fun, but
then why they take his name off like their merch and stuff?
Why do you no show a meet and greet? I mean, they're messing with the people, Matt.
They're trying to do this Pillman thing, but the fact that they've already done it, doing it again, it's just kind of like, it's not effective, you know.
Yeah, you just don't believe it, right? Dark Money Zone, $5 saying Roman's lost, could set up head of the table match with The Rock. Rock making Roman go through the bloodline to the final boss for head of the table title. Yeah. Could be Mania next
year, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely going to happen. They're going to work each other, obviously.
I mean, that pop when Roman speared The Rock last night, that was like the one time last night where the crowd came alive.
Yes, it
in
was.
the second half of the show. And it's there. That spark is there.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Liege, $5 saying, do you really think Michael Cole and Snoop Dogg smoked weed together? I mean, look, I'm not the biggest marijuana fan, but if I'm with Snoop and Snoop is smoking weed, I just want the story. I'm taking a hit.
No, I don't. I think Michael was a nerd trying to be cool.
Weren't they together on that Girls Gone Wild pay-per-view that WWE did? Like they hung out back in some more turbulent times.
Bruce Pritchard was Pritchard's talked about it. Yeah.
Raj, if Snoop Dogg passes you a joint, you take a hit of that, right?
God, yeah, that's on my bucket list. Hell yeah.
Matt, we're not going to ask you to answer.
I'll answer it. No, you losers, you nerds. You do drugs just because somebody cool gave it to you? What do you mean, fifth grade?
Okay,
yes.
Matt, if you're hanging out with Willie Nelson and Willie Nelson gives you a rolled joint, you don't want these stories that you smoked weed with Willie Nelson?
No,
not Matt. But in a second, yeah.
Matt's a grown up.
I'm an 18-year recovered drug addict. No.
Making sure my kids aren't around.
Say you did it, but you didn't inhale. Amit Chaudhry, that's a joke for the old people. Amit Chaudhry saying, guys, please start a regular podcast post Raw. Badly missing it. Question: how do you rate the reign of Roman? What should his path be going forward?
Well, the greatest reign I've ever seen in our generation. Wow. That's what, in my opinion. Yeah.
I mean, it's good. He didn't break Hogan's national record, but it was good.
I was gonna say best reign since Hogan.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm really curious what Wednesday. I can't wait to find out what the plans were. Jeremy Cotto, $4.99 saying lived in Longwood a few years ago. Jeremiah's in first watch. Matt, name a good spot to eat in Longwood.
Oh, my poor guy. Come on, Jeremy. Those aren't even in Longwood. Come on, Jeremiah's is in Lake Mary. First Watch is in Lake Mary. Unless you're using the First Watch, that's an unincorporated Longwood, which is technically governed by Seminole County. It's not even governed by us. It's unincorporated Longwood. Come on, you couldn't even throw out Jerry's Pizza. Jerry's Pizza. That's probably my favorite pizzas. I shouldn't say that, but they are. They're the best. What's another good spot that people would like? Nana Pops ice cream. If you like ice cream, Nana Pops is really good here. C is for cookies, the best flavor. But yeah, I won't hurt anybody's feelings if I don't say their names.
Jim Viviano, $4.99, saying last night Gunther and Sammy was the best alive. Raj will know, but Sammy, Rocky, Chad, Apollo, Gunther, Drago, and also Seth, Becky, and Roman are taking a break.
Okay, well deserved.
I'm going to listen to the Becky Lynch audiobook. I have to drive to Coachella on Thursday night. I'm not going to the festival, but I have a client who is, so I'm meeting them there. It's a 9-hour drive round trip. I'm going to listen to Becky's audiobook. I'm very much looking forward to that.
Yay, Glenn.
People ask if we listen to the book. What? Doing a long drive. Yeah. I'm too old to go to Coachella, the festival proper. I think they'll see me there and be like, get out of here, old man. Or someone will call me a narc. And I'll say, hey, if Snoop or Willie Nelson offered me weed, I would smoke it with them. Does he still think I'm a narc? George Devine, $2. If Rock Cody at SummerSlam, when does Roman get his rematch?
Ooh. Yeah, that is a good question.
You're doing monthly pay-per-views.
Why doesn't Roman get a rematch, Raj?
He's taking time off, so I don't know how long that is, but yeah, I mean, you could do it anytime, you know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I think, but the problem with the rematch, though, I don't know. I feel like why would Roman want a rematch?
I don't think you beat Roman again, just for beating. You know.
Yeah.
Well, then why? How do you explain away he doesn't get a rematch? Every other champion that loses their belt does.
You know, like Brock never got his rematch when he lost his last title. You know, like with the certain stars, you don't really just explain it. You just accept it.
Oh, that's interesting. Boondow saying probably Saudi Arabia. And I want your off the wall predictions. What is your big money spectacle that WWE gives Saudi Arabia for that 2 nights they're doing there? Do they get The Rock because of the money involved? Like, what do they do that's just bonkers to bring someone out of retirement?
Will Rock politically be dumb enough to go there? Because politically that's a dumb move.
Yeah, I don't know.
CM Punk versus Drew. I mean, they always have something big, right? So
yeah.
So there's 2 Saudi Arabia shows, one in April, one in likely November.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock versus Undertaker, someone's mentioning. With they get more money from that show than WrestleMania.
That's so crazy. That's nuts.
I can't see it.
Okay. T Smitty $3,005 saying bring Mania back to Phoenix since Triple H took over. People I didn't know watch WWE have started watching again. Montez should win King of the Ring.
Okay, I like that. Let's take that.
Love it.
Okay,
yeah, love it.
It'd be dope. George Devine $2 says maybe Fatu deals with Cody while Rock and Roman are off. I don't think they put Jacob Fatu right into that.
He needs to be built. Needs to be built.
Yeah.
But that dude is a beast.
Because otherwise he's getting beat right off the bat. You don't want that.
No.
Yeah. London with $1.99 super chat saying great Mania man and Ricochet for King of the Ring.
Okay, there we go.
Just make it mean something. And King of the Ring is always, in my opinion, has always been best when a heel wins it, because then they wear the crown and the robe and they act like assholes. And, like a babyface can't really do that.
Yeah. Koopa, $2, throwing some shade, saying, remember when Raj was hyped for Rock and Roman?
Still am. Hey, don't tell me that's not a gigantic match. Come on.
Good one, Coop.
Been good. Guys, I just got through all the super chats. Thank you. I don't know how much that is, but y'all raised a lot of money.
Thank you, guys.
Donating to Culture
and
City
girls.
last night and tonight. Thank you, everyone, for that. If we get any more before we go off the air, we'll be sure to read them. And Tomorrow night, maybe Raw, maybe something. Wednesday night sounds like we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
We're definitely gonna be doing Wednesday night, but if something newsworthy happens tomorrow night on Raw, in the very least, I'll give you guys my word. I'll do it if you guys can't do it. If you can't, all three of us do it, then great. But we're only telling the fans if it's something newsworthy for tomorrow night.
I like when
so like and subscribe so you know if we do.
Yeah, click that bell notification. I like when something happens early in Raw and we just say, let's go on the air right now. We're not waiting for Raw.
Like during Raw. It's like,
yes.
Yeah. Same thing Wednesday, right after that CM Punk footage airs. We're hitting and talking about it.
Yep.
I'm not watching the rest of Dynamite.
We will be the first to cover it.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe not the best, but always the first.
We'll be the best.
I know. It'll be the best. It'll be good. Any final thoughts, Matt, before we wrap this up tonight?
No. It's a great WrestleMania night too. Loved how the entire card went. Loved the fans in attendance did a great job. I know it sounds silly, but they did. It's a noticeable difference between two-night's audience and last night's audience. Everything hit tonight. Every match hit. Legit. Even the matches I thought wouldn't hit tonight. Great way to end a great WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah,
best WrestleMania in a long time. Again, I like it peaking in night 2 than night 1, and I thought it was an awesome show. So big success.
I think this is
in every sense.
This is an amazing typo, Michael Williams. He's saying, does the WWE potential toilet? I think he meant talent.
Oh
yes,
talent have a heel problem. Seems to have way too many baby faces.
The good news is it's easier to always turn a baby face heel. It's always easier to have somebody boo you than it is to cheer you. So that's never a problem. It's always a problem. Never to have enough baby faces is usually the problem.
Can you imagine if Cody comes out
Damian Priest? Damian Priest is world champion now. You got so you got enough.
And any of those baby faces that just mentioned, like that could be healed tomorrow. It will be believable and they'll sell tickets at it.
Can you imagine if Cody comes out tomorrow night and gives a "You People" promo and just it was all a lie?
Oh, I would love that. Oh, I'd go crazy. I would love it.
Just ditches his outfits. I'd love it.
Heel Cody, yes.
I mean,
I would love that.
deal Cody, yeah.
Yeah. Secure the Vote 2024, $10, saying Seth looked visibly upset after both his spots tonight. He's in an upcoming Marvel movie, although actually we'll talk about that in a second. Odds are Seth goes part-time. Remember, him and Becky both have expiring contracts in June. He's actually been cut out of the Marvel movie. They reshot like half of it, and he's not going to be in it as part of the Serpent Society. So
why'd they cut him out?
The movie just had pacing issues, so they're redoing it. It's Captain America 4.
All his scenes are out.
Yeah. They're like reshooting major
Was he playing an actual superhero?
He's playing a villain, part of the Serpent Society.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it wasn't a major role. He was in
Still,
one of the henchmen. It's kind of like Triple H in that Blade movie.
Blade 3, the worst Blade movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Okay, everybody, thank you for hanging with. God, I feel weird ending this.
Thanks, guys. I don't.
People on YouTube.
I don't.
Okay, everybody, get some rest, hydrate. Not with Prime, with good old fashioned water, and be sure to subscribe.
You're not their gym coach. Stop telling people to drink water.
Morgan, take a knee. That helmet, not a chair. Rub some dirt on it. We're gonna finish this podcast. Stop playing grab ass. I got a point to make. Everybody, please.
Nothing wrong with hydrating.
Be sure to subscribe to this gigantic pop channel. We'll be back probably tomorrow night if something happens on Raw. It probably will. So safe bet. Follow Matt Morgan at BP Matt Morgan. When you're in Longwood, visit Jerry's Pizza. And follow Raja the Raj Giri. I'm at Glenn Rubenstein. Everyone, we'll catch you back here next time. Happy WrestleMania weekend as it comes to a close. Catch you back here soon on Gigantic Pop. Take care.